All right, I want to talk a little bit about telephone interviews and virtual interviews. Lots of times, hiring managers want to do phone interviews. I am not a fan of phone interviews. I think they are disadvantageous for the applicant. I think it is very easy for the interview panel to get distracted on a phone interview, which means they're not paying that much attention to you. Plus, from your perspective, you do not have the opportunity to read any body language of the panel members themselves. So I always encourage you, or applicants, if you're asked to do a phone interview, ask if you can do that interview over FaceTime or Skype or video teleconference. Because even though Skype and FaceTime and the VTC are not ideal, at least you can see the body language. And that's a huge plus for you as an applicant. And if a hiring manager says, oh no, I have to do all the interviews over the phone so it's all fair, please know that the Office of Personnel Management has said that for a structured interview where all interviewees are asked the same questions in the same order, please know that OPM says a phone interview and an in-person interview are considered the same, and there is no reason from an OPM standpoint why interviews all have to be done over the phone. If in fact you are on a phone interview, if at all possible, please use a landline. The phone line quality is typically better on a landline than it is on a cell phone. Other things to be thinking about is minimize the distractions, get your dogs and children outside, turn off every other phone that you own, and frankly turn off your computer too, because the computer can be distracting. If you are Skyping, pay attention to what's behind you. You don't want a big mess behind you. You don't want a heavy metal poster behind you or what have you. So you want your space to look as clean, professional, and neutral as possible. And if in fact you are Skyping and you're using a cell phone, be careful about putting that cell phone on the table in front of you, because I really do not want to look up your nostrils for the entire interview process. And trust me, I have. Couple other things you might want to think about. Thing number 1 is to dress as you would for an in-person interview, even if it's a phone interview. When you are dressed in your interview clothes, you just sit up a little straighter and you sound a little better than you sound when you're in your pajamas. I also encourage you for a phone interview to stand up. That way the sound is coming from your diaphragm and you won't be tempted to slump or any of that kind of thing. And if you're over the phone and even on Skype, as we know, it's not an immediate response. And if you need time to think about a question before answering, say so. And, don't get stuck in that dynamic over Skype or a phone interview where you're speaking over each other. So give the people on the other end of the phone an opportunity to actually answer. And don't forget to smile. Even on a phone interview, you want a smile in your voice.